Good morning or good afternoon. My name is Vega Contreras, and the book I read was Frankenstein by Mary W. Shelley. This book begins in a very particular way. It begins with experiences told by a scientist named Robert Walton, who is traveling through the Arctic in search of new scientific findings. On this trip, he begins to write letters to his sister, who is in England, about all his experiences. One day, when they were crossing the snow with their boat, Walton sees a man on a sled approaching them in the distance. They put the man on the boat, which will later tell Walton the story of his life in the rest of the journey. This person's name is Victor Frankenstein. He's originally from Geneva with an adoptive sister named Elizabeth, a younger brother named William, a supportive dad Alphonse, and his faithful friend Henry Clerval. The story begins with a young Victor who wishes to study philosophy and chemistry outside of where he lives. Victor narrates how he was very interested in human anatomy and how reading different books led him to have the recognition of his teachers. He decided to do an experiment, which although it sounded impossible, he was determined to achieve. He decided to build a living being with the remains of other human bodies. In time, his masterpiece was finished, albeit a very ugly looking one. Victor achieved what no one else had achieved, bringing matter to life. Only in this case something bad had happened. This monster had escaped from where Victor originally had it. Because of this, a series of bad events happened. Victor's younger brother William had been murdered, which Victor later would find out was by the hands of his creation. Victor's best friend Henry will also be killed by this monster. The end of all this will be the fact that Frankenstein, the monster, murdered Victor's new wife, his beloved Elizabeth. That in those times it was like normal to see the sister and brother get married. And to finish it, the father will also die from health problems because of seeing how his loved ones are dying little by little in front of him. What Frankenstein wanted was a partner, which at first Victor agreed to create her, but after analyzing what the two of them could do together, he decides to destroy her. This is when the monster kills Henry and then proceeds to kill his wife Elizabeth. From that day on, Victor only had one mission: to find the creature that took his loved ones. In Walton's last letters, it is described how Victor passes away from ill health on the ship and how the monster boards the ship and begins to cry over the loss of Victor, his creator. At that moment, between Walton's decisions to kill him, Frankenstein, the monster, or let him live, the monster escaped and is never found. For me, this was like a crucial moment in the story, because at this point, Walton knows every bad action that the monster has done, and one might think that killing him will be necessary, but nevertheless, he hesitates and the monster escapes. I will recommend this book because I think that this is the kind of book that anyone should read if they are said to be fans of horror and suspense stories. I will also recommend it to young and new audiences who aren't used to read because it uses simple but clear words that won't make you need a glossary every 10 minutes. In my opinion, it's amazing what literature can do, and the fact that a book lasts from generation to generation means that even though historical events change over times, the legacy of a great book will exist forever. Thank you very much for your attention. This was a review of the book Frankenstein by Mary W. Shelley. See you in the next time.